Despite all we've achieved, I cannot continue my re-election campaign. The constant media speculation about my future and the Campaign Finance Board's decision to withhold millions of dollars have undermined my ability to raise the funds needed for a serious campaign.
And that's the hot topic of the hour. Incumbent New York City Mayor Eric Adams is out of the mayoral race. He dropped out yesterday, less than 2 months away from Election Day. It is now a three-man race between Democrat Socialist Zohran Mamdani, Independent Andrew Cuomo, and Republican Curtis Sliwa. Adams ripping into the rise of political extremism in the Big Apple.
Political anger is turning into political violence. Too often, insidious forces use local government to advance divisive agendas with little regard for how it hurts everyday New Yorkers. Major change is welcome and necessary, but beware of those who claim the answer to destroy the very system we built together over generations. That is not change, that is chaos. Instead, I urge New Yorkers to choose leaders not by what they promise, but by what they have delivered. Although this is the end of my re-election campaign, it is not the end of my public service.
Well, Andrew Cuomo responded to Adams' decision in an X post. He said, "The choice Eric Adams made today was not an easy one, but I believe he is sincere in putting the well-being of New York City ahead of personal ambition." Mamdani, meanwhile, said this: Trump and his billionaire donors might be able to determine Adams and Cuomo's actions, but they won't decide this election, claims Mamdani. Earlier this month, a Quinnipiac poll found Mamdani holding a double-digit lead in a hypothetical three-way race between himself, Cuomo, and Sliwa. The Wall Street Journal editorial board writes this of Adams' decision: "The shame is he did not do it sooner. He'd have given the city a better chance of defeating socialist Zohran Mamdani." Liz, I think in a head-to-head Cuomo-Mamdani, Cuomo does a lot better than in the three-way race, but right now it's a three-way race. Your thoughts?
Yeah. Well, we have a couple of problems. One is Eric Adams' opening comment about, despite all we've accomplished in our campaign, if he had accomplished more, Maria, this would be better news, right? I mean, he's basically at 8 or 9% of the vote, not going anywhere. So even if all those voters line up behind Andrew Cuomo, which they probably will not do, it still doesn't really move the needle. Mamdani is just too far out in front. The other problem is Andrew Cuomo is a terrible candidate. Yes, he has some experience. The experience for most New Yorkers when he was governor of New York was pretty terrible. We blame him for a lot of the surge in crime. We blame him for the horrible things that went on during COVID. So it is truly a Hobson's choice. I think that's the right expression. Nobody wants either of these guys.
Yeah. What do you think, Gregory?
I think it's a little too late at this point, to be honest. To Liz's points, I mean, I think the polls speak for themselves right now. This consolidation should have happened months ago, and it didn't. And I think the harsh reality is we're going to be faced with a candidate who's going to win, who has a specific agenda. I think people are concerned about how that looks going forward. But that's the reality, I think, that we're faced with here in New York City.
You know, somebody told me the other day, Liz, I wonder if you could confirm this, is that they walk in Central Park all the time in New York City, and there's a lot of women covered completely up, like you're in Saudi Arabia. I mean,
actually, I haven't seen that, Maria. I don't think that is really that common in Central Park or in Midtown Manhattan. But it is interesting that no one really is talking about Mamdani's Muslim affiliate. He's a Muslim, and he's anti-Israel, and this is a city with an enormous Jewish population. A lot of us are wondering how it is that something like 55% of that population is prepared to vote for a guy that up until now has never really distanced himself from having said earlier, globalize the Intifada. I mean, this is a guy that is not neutral on Israel versus the Palestinians. So he is incredibly hostile to Israel, has talked about arresting Benjamin Netanyahu if he comes to America. I mean, this is a guy, I cannot imagine him being a mayor of New York. But here's the thing, Maria. This is what is scaring Democrats to death. When you were talking about Newt Gingrich earlier about the shutdown and Schumer's position and how Schumer has gone so far left, he's terrified of AOC, Alexandria Ocasio-Cortez, primarying him from the left. If Mamdani becomes the Democrat mayor and things go as badly as we imagine, I think hopefully that's going to cool this fervor of socialism in the Democratic Party. But I'm not counting on it because that's where the energy is.
That's right. That is where the energy is.